How's everybody doing out there? What's happening? Who is ready for Thanksgiving? It's a week away, week and a day. Love the food. Okay, let's start. Today my topic is we're going to talk about Sphere and past clients and following up with them and getting referrals and all that good stuff. And I know that kind of we're in this spot now where things have slowed down with the market and you're like, what am I going to do? And really, this is the best time to start really digging in with those folks. So I'm going to ask a question if you want to Q&A me back. How many of you have all of your Sphere and past clients in your kvCORE database? Maybe chat it to me. Anybody have it? Anybody? Nobody? You're killing me, people. Yes, yay, Jeff. Anyone else have all their past clients, their Sphere? Everybody have them in there? How about just your Sphere? Or just your past clients? Most. Dana says most. Yay. Okay. Well, if you don't have them in yet, I think most of you don't. Let's start there. So I know I'm just going to very cursory go over this, but in your lead engine, all lead engine tools and your bulk lead import, Andrea has most of them. Then right here, you'll want to download this template. If you're in Canada, you're going to download this one. If you're here in the United States, you're going to download this guy. But let's talk about your Sphere first. I bet you that you've heard a lot of coaches talk to you about like your top 50, the people that you know the best, the people that are going to refer people to you, and that kind of stuff. And so if you look at, you're right, I'm not sharing my screen. I do that every stinking time. Let's start over, Heather. Lead engine, all lead engine tools, bulk import. You can let us handle it or you can do it yourself, but either way, you click right here. You're going to want the template. There's a Canadian one here for importing your contacts. And down here, this is what it kind of looks like. And we have tons of videos on how to do this, and you can even talk to a specialist about it. But I bet you that you have a sphere of influence and you have past clients that you want to get in, and you want to use this and get as much information on your spreadsheet first before you import it into kvCORE. But if you're thinking about your sphere, your hashtag is going to be a great place to put those A people, B people, C people. Some coaches do it in different buckets, but whatever you're doing to really say, okay, if someone's an A or a B or a C, I'm going to follow up with them differently. I want to tag them as such before they even come into the system. So you want to make sure you put the hashtags in here so you can find those folks. And then as far as the, if you have their address, you want to get that in there. You've got a closing date, you've got a birthday. These are all automations that can help you stay in touch with these people. And they're all things that kvCORE can do for you, you know, as you know, automatically. So you definitely want to do that. Over here is your status. So obviously your sphere is going to be your grandma and your best friend and the person you know from church. Your closed is going to be any past client that you've had before. And so you definitely want to put those people in there and put them in correctly. So if it says past client, don't put past client here. It's not going to come in right. Closed is the way you want to go, because that's the status that matches up in your Smart CRM in kvCORE. So I'm going to pull myself up. So if you have your sphere in here, they will be sphere, and if they're closed, they will be here, but you want to make sure that you put them in the correct bucket. And then the hashtags here are ways. So let's say that I'm your mom, or I'm, your best friend. Obviously that's an A person, right? Like that's somebody that you see on a regular basis. That's going to refer people to you all the time. You're going to know. So it could just be, your hashtag could be a lead or a sphere, or however you want to add these hashtags so that you can then pull up your list of A's, your list of B's, your list of C's, and really organize those people so that, maybe you want to make a campaign that, you need to have coffee with all your A people, and maybe there's only 15 A people, right? So you're going to have coffee with them once every couple of months or something, but you definitely want to stay in front of these people, and you want to use your CRM to help you do that. So let's go to follow up with these people. What does KV Core do to automate that? Let's actually go back here. So these are the things that you should be doing for all of your leads that are a sphere or a past client. Not necessarily a campaign, actually. I wouldn't put anybody that's in a sphere on a campaign, but if you have a newsletter or something, you can send them those kinds of things. The very, very first thing you're going to do for people is put them on a property alert. And you're going to say to me, Heather, my Aunt Martha does not want to move and she doesn't care. And so she's not looking for anything. So I'm not going to set her on a property alert. And that's when I'm going to tell you that you're wrong, because Aunt Martha owns her house and has owned it for 18 years or 30 years. And she is a nosy neighbor who wants to know when people are listing around her. So if you're going to do that, instead of doing a big area or something, for every sphere person, where they live, I want you to get down on the map, and you can put their address in right here and it will zoom in. And if it doesn't zoom in all the way, just keep hitting zoom in, and it'll do it. But like, let's say Aunt Martha lives in this neighborhood right here. Or let's say she lives on this corner. If you draw a map, right, like that, let's get that road in there. How many times is someone going to list in that area in a year, that teeny tiny area? 5 times, 10 times a year. So you're not sending her stuff left and right. It's just when somebody right down the road from her, or even you can even make it smaller than that. Like, oh, Heather, maybe she lives on this corner. Maybe you just want it right here. But what you really want to do is be sending her listings when people list, so that she knows, A, that her neighbors are listing, B, what they're listing for, and that informs her about what her home is worth. And she may never sell that home. She might die in that home. But it reminds her that you are the person who knows when one of her neighbors is listing, so that when Aunt Martha is playing bridge with her friends and her friends say, oh, we're moving. Oh, you need to talk to my nephew, Joe, because he knows everything. Like, he keeps an eye on my neighborhood for me. And once you set this up, it's done for you. It's going to send it out forever, and you never, ever have to touch it again for Aunt Martha, but it's going to stay in front of her automatically. So let's go back. So the first thing you're going to do is set Aunt Martha up on a property alert. Aunt Martha does not need a campaign. I'm sorry, property alert. You could do a market report for her though. Again, you could set her up for her neighborhood. You can set her up for, I came on late. What feature is this? We're talking about getting referrals and new business from your sphere and your past clients and staying on top of them. So property alert, setting something up for them that's very specific to where they live. And then also the market report. I would do it by maybe zip code. You can do it by neighborhood, but if there's not a lot going on in the neighborhood, then sometimes the report isn't very robust. So you might want to, check it out and see what you're getting for a neighborhood. If it's like one of those big neighborhoods, then maybe if it's like a neighborhood of 2 streets, you might want to do the zip code or something like that. So in order to set up a market report, you're just going to put in the zip code of the area that you want. I think, I'm trying to remember what MLS this is hooked up to, because this is it's New York. I don't know. I'm just going to do a neighborhood. So this is a neighborhood in New York, but if you put in the zip code or whatever, you would just choose it. And then do not be obnoxious and send it every 7 days, maybe send it once a month. So now Aunt Martha is going to get a touch from you once a month with a market report. She's going to maybe get another, maybe not, if a listing right around her goes. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to set them up for a listing valuation. Now, I already set myself up on this, but I'll go ahead and remove it and redo it again. Aunt Martha's address. Again, she might die in that house, but she wants to know what it's worth every month. So you want to just put in, oh wait, let's do my old address when I used to live in San Francisco. Dear God, I want to know what it's worth because we sold it like 10 years ago. But if you put in the property address and save it, then it's going to send them every month what their home is worth. And actually sends them 3 different valuations, and it gives them some comparables, and it says, hey, if you want something more in depth, call me or whatever. And so just by setting up these 3 things, you're touching them at least twice, if not 3 times a month forever, without sending them anything at all, like on your behalf. Again, if Aunt Martha is your A sphere, you're going to want to do something extra. You're going to want to have coffee with her or do those things, but you can use those hashtags to remind you to do things like that. So maybe your A sphere, you send them out a handwritten card once a month. Well, you could pull that, you could go into your CRM. Are you setting up each person for all those 3 things? Yes, I would set up each person. And when I say each person, I'm talking your sphere and your past clients. Those people need, I mean, everybody should be on those anyway for all of your other leads, but all of your other leads, a lot of that can be automated. Like when a lead comes in, they'll get put on a listing alert, based on what they looked at or whatever. But, to be super specific about an alert, you're going to want to go in and do it by hand. So anyway, you can go into your Smart CRM and you can say, okay, I need to pull up, it's time for me to write my cards to all my A-list people this month. You're welcome. I'm going to do my hashtag and I'm going to look for A sphere and I'm going to pull it. And then, you've got all your A sphere people here. Now, let's say you pulled it, you can save it. You can save it my A sphere. And you can also learn to spell. You can pin it to the top and save it. So then, at the first of the month, you can pull all your A sphere by just clicking here, looking down the list. I need to send everybody a handwritten note. Maybe you are just slammed that month and you want to send them a text message instead. You could just click here, send a mass text. Hey, I've been thinking about, hey, first name. I've been thinking about you. I'd love to catch up. When are you free for coffee? Now, obviously, you're not doing this for everybody. You're doing this just for your A people or whatever, and you send it out. Sancha says KV Course emails are going to junk mail. Okay, a couple of options here for you on the junk mail situation. The first thing you need to do to help you keep things out of junk mail is right here. you go up here and you want to, if you're using Gmail or using Outlook, connect it. Because if it's not connected, what happens is that we are sending it on your behalf instead of actually sending it from your Gmail. And other carriers see that and they're like, that looks spammy to me and I don't like that. So the number one thing you can do is you can connect your Gmail or connect your Outlook so that we're sending it straight through. That's the first thing. The second thing is the first few that you send somebody, like if you're running a campaign, or the first time you email somebody, make it a plain, how do you connect it? You just go up to this right here and hit connect. And so then it's going to pop open your account and you want to pick the correct account that's connected that you use for KV Core and you want to connect it. That's all you have to do. The second thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you do a plain text email the first one or two emails that you send out. And that's because if you send somebody something with a bunch of links or a bunch of graphics in it, like Gmail or other carriers are like, oh, that looks spammy to me. Like, I don't think this is correct. And they will send it to junk mail. But if the first couple get through and they haven't tagged you as spam, then you can start sending other ones like that have a lot of pictures or have links and things like that in them, like a newsletter and those kinds of things. And those are the top two things I would do to avoid being sent to spam. We put an unsubscribe button in every single email that goes out through KV Core, and that's the other thing that you need to do to keep it from going to spam. When you send a mass text, is it sent from your personal number or what number will be showing where it's coming from? It sends from your smart number, which is right here. This is the number that it is shared. This is a good segue because I wanted to go over this next. This number is shared by everybody in your office. If somebody calls you, that calls that number, and they're in your CRM and they call from the number that's in the CRM, it's going to route directly to you. Otherwise, it will route to round robin to your office. You can buy your own smart number if you want it. I think it's like $11 a month. It's in the marketplace. Let's find it. Actually, you can just type number here. I bet it will come up. Smart number, yeah. So it's 27. My bad. That's a big fat liar. It's $27 a month, but it's your own number. So if anyone ever calls it, I say if you're just using the system normally, you can get away with the free one. If you're putting the number on anything print anywhere, you want to get your own. But this is a really great way to reconnect with your sphere. And the first thing I would do is I would go to your sphere. I'd pull up everybody in your smart CRM. I'd say, okay, I want to pull up all my sphere. Your sphere has your cell phone number in their phone, probably. Hang on just a sec. I would take everybody, and you might not want to do it. Like, let's say you have 500 of your sphere in here. You might want to do it 100 at a time, just because if these people know you and if they all get back to you at once, it might be hard for you to keep up with it. So maybe you just want to do 100 at a time, but I only have 4 in here. So I'm just going to do everybody. And you do a mass text and you say, hi, first name. It's Heather Bowden. I just wanted you to know that I got a brand new work phone number. So if you see this, come up, you'll know it's me, not something spammy. Do me a favor and add this to my contact on your phone. By the way, how are things? Wanna grab coffee soon, or whatever. And you can send it to all those people. This is a great way to reconnect with your sphere. It's a great way to give them your number so that they know that. And then the first time they do that, then they'll probably be like, oh, thanks for letting me know, and get back to you. And automatically then their phone knows this is a safe number. It's not a weird number. I've responded to this number. Things are good. That's a great way to reach out to your sphere and just let them know what your smart number is all about. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about, that is what I would do for all your sphere people. If you have, the only other thing I want to say for your spheres is it depends on your brokerage. If they paid extra, you might have this little guy here called CorePresent. And what it is if you can make them an in-depth CMA for their home, and you would say, Heather, again, Aunt Martha's not leaving, but Aunt Martha will think that this is a very cool thing. And Aunt Martha you'll say to Aunt Martha, hey, I just thought you'd be super interested in all these comparables and this marker and this report for your house. If you know anyone who's buying or selling, hey, especially selling, I'm happy to make this report for them. I think they would really benefit them. Please pass them my way. I'm not going to go into it too much because not everyone has it, but if you do have it, think about doing it. Think about pulling up all your sphere and just doing 1 or 2 a week down the list. It will pay dividends for you. And if you don't know how to use the tool in your dashboard on the live training calendar, let's say you're on Eastern time, you pick your time zone. Tuesday mornings, every Tuesday. Actually, it's not in the morning on the East Coast, it's right at noon, but it's morning for everybody else. CorePresent live demo, go to it, learn how to use it. If your brokerage offers this, I swear you're missing out if you're not using it. Yeah, I'll get off my soapbox on that guy now. Okay, so let's talk about your past clients. So your past clients, I would do those same things that I did for your sphere, which was set them up with a property alert right around their house, set them up with a listing alert, or excuse me, a market report for their area or their neighborhood, set them up with a listing valuation. And then you want to put them on a campaign because you want to check in with them, especially in that first year. You want to ask for referrals and you want to ask for testimonials. So as a bonus of being here today in the chat, I am going to put this share code in for you. There we go. Let's see, right here. I want you all to copy that share code. And if you take that share code and you go over to your Smart Campaigns and you click right here and drop it in and then just hit return. I'm not going to do it because it's already in mine. It will clone that campaign down for you. And you can have it for your very own. So we're going to go through this campaign really quickly. And let's find it in my list. Just closed. It's going to be called Just Closed. I'm going to resend the code. It's right above you guys, but I'll do it again. I put the code in the chat. I'll also put it in the Q&A. But we don't see it. Hosts and panelists. Oh, let's try this. How about now? Everybody get it now? The stupid thing, got it. Yeah, it's defaulted to only send it to the hosts and panelists, but that's just sending it to myself, and that's not very good. You guys got it now. Excellent. Okay, so here we go. The first thing I want you to do is I want you guys, after you put it in, to edit this first email. This email says it's 10 days after they close, and it's just, hey, it's a little favor. Hey, it was such a pleasure working with you. This is where you're going to ask for them to give you some feedback, give you some testimonials. So I really love this one. You know, it just says, hey, you know, don't overthink it. Take 2 minutes. What, you know, what could I improve on? What should others know? Was I helpful? What did you learn? Can you do this for me? Now you can leave it the way it is, but you want to make this super easy for them. So you can go down and say, if you want to leave your review at one or more of these places, I'd so appreciate it. And then you're going to put Zillow, and then you're going to go to your Zillow profile. No, I don't have a Zillow profile because I'm not a real estate agent. But you know, let's see, Portland. So let's say you're Claire. You're definitely going to want to go to Claire's reviews. So if you click on your reviews and just take that link there, they can just write a review for you right there and hyperlink that to Zillow. They don't have to look you up on Zillow. Make it so easy for the, oh, hello, that's the share code. Copy. You know, put that in there. Maybe you have a Google, you have Google reviews somewhere. Google, hyperlink that. Maybe you have reviews somewhere else. Anywhere they can write a review for you, put it in here and hyperlink it, because if you don't, they're not going to do it. They might write you back with a review. Fine, you can copy and paste that and put that on your KV Core site. But you definitely want to make it easy for them to put it other places, because like Zillow, Google, those kinds of places, you can't copy and paste it on there. They have to do it themselves. Oh, Facebook is the other one. Go to your Facebook page, put that link in there too. And put whatever one you want them to do first in line, because just people will usually click on the first thing they do. Okay, show how to paste the code again. I'll do that in a second. Can we get a video of this? Yes, this is being recorded on our YouTube channel. I'll just go there right now because it's such a great resource. If you go to home, the success meetups are right here. If you just go to the playlist, you will see them now. It will take a couple days before it gets here, but it will get here. And then you just go in and you can watch any of these old ones that are in here. And this is a great, I mean, there's tons and tons of stuff here, so don't miss out on it. Okay, where was I? Yeah, no problem. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. And then so you're gonna say, you're gonna put all those in. Actually, this says so appreciated, so we're not gonna say that again. We're gonna say one of the places, lease. Make sure you spell right too. Yeah, leave them. You know. Be amazing. Okay, whatever. So yeah, make sure you hyperlink them out and do that. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna hit save. You're gonna rename your template like review request. And just a pro tip here, every time you make your own template for something, put your initials in so you can find it again, because there's so many in there. Then if you start them all with this, you can always pull up a list of ones that you've made. And then just hit save changes. And now that first email that goes out is going to be asking for reviews, and it's going to send them exactly where you want those reviews to go. Okay, so before I go any further, I had a request for pasting the code again. So all you have to do to paste a code in is go to Marketing, Smart Campaigns. And right here, you just click this button and, well, hang on. Let's try it again. You come right here, you click this button, you paste it in. and then you click it. Oh, my copy and paste is not working very well today. Copy. Paste, there we go. And then if you click it one more time, it's going to import it. I'm not going to do it because mine's already here, but if you do that, then you'll just get the closed status. Now, the other thing I want to say about this closed one, this is not for people that closed last year, because the verbiage in here is very much like, oh, it's been a year, oh, it's been this. So only use this for people who have just closed their house. So and it will trigger that. If you put this in here, the trigger is when the status is closed. So when you move someone into closed status, this campaign will start. So if you don't want that to happen, go ahead and take that trigger out. And if you want to take that trigger out, all you have to do is hit edit and hit X. I don't want there to be a trigger. And this is actually important to do if you haven't imported your closed people yet, because if you import them all as closed, they're all going to get this campaign. So don't do that. So take this trigger out. Next, 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 finish. That way it won't trigger for them anymore. You can just add them later. Okay. Then if you kind of look through this again, these emails, you know, it will tell you how to set up, say, you know, let's do that listing valuation. Let's do that listing alert. It will give you those prompts already going through the things that I said. But, you know, it has good stuff in here and you guys can peruse it as well. You know, looking for, you know, here's info. I'm always here to help you, you know, those kinds of things. Send them a CMA, send them that. If you have CorpResent, send them a CorpResent a year later, those kinds of things. But yeah, get this in there, make sure everybody's on it, and go ahead and edit that first email so that they have a place to send you those reviews. All right, let's see, questions. Awesome. My pick was in the way, sorry. I don't get the purpose of the code. So the code, anytime you're making a campaign in kvCORE, you can share it with people. So if you want to share a campaign with people, you can. I've already shared it, but if you hadn't, there'd be a share you could click share campaign, and this token comes up. And so what happens is if you give this token to someone else that has kvCORE, they can then take the campaign that you built and throw it right into their own kvCORE. So if you go to your smart campaigns, I'm just gonna X out of this. I'm gonna refresh this. When you go into your smart campaigns, you can use that code that someone gave you and the one I just gave you to just go here. If you put it in, paste it, and click this one more time, that campaign that I wrote for you guys will come right into here, into your list for you to use. And so you can clone it, you can mess with it, you can even, for all those closed clients that you have a look through it. You could use some of those templates that are already in it that aren't super time sensitive to put in your own campaign for people that closed 3 years ago and whatnot. Would that be available in the kvCORE library? No, it's not. There is a closed campaign in the kvCORE library. I just think mine is way better. Just saying. Default closed. Yeah. So you can go there. You know, this has, you know, a couple of emails and a text message. Mine was much longer and much more involved. So I actually wrote it. I'm hoping to get it into the kvCORE library. It just, that takes a little doing from our product people. So it might show up there sometime in the future, but for right now, it's just for you guys. That makes sense. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over with you guys, you know, using your hashtags to really segment out your sphere, using, you know, your automations to stay with your sphere. Oh, I forgot one more thing I wanted to show you. I knew there was one more thing. What am I forgetting? In your marketing, all marketing, behavioral automations. No, that's not right. Your birthdays, anniversaries, my fault. Try and collect these for your people, your birthdays and anniversaries, your anniversary of purchase. There's a happy home anniversary and a happy home anniversary text. I really encourage you guys to go in and make this your own. So you can change the template. This is what it says, but maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want to put, maybe you have core video and you want to put a video in there saying, hey, congratulations, it's a 1 year, it's been a year. Or maybe you want to change out, this doesn't change, by the way, like they're going to get the same one every year if you let it go. So you might want to once a year make a note to yourself to go in and change what the anniversary one does. So you would just pick, in order to change this, what you have to do is you have to pick a different template. So if you go to your Smart CRM, nope, your marketing, and go to your Smart Campaigns and go to your templates, you can see. I wonder if it's in here. No. You can add a template, email template. And you could just write an email, or you can go to the advanced editor. And this template, again, put your initials on it so you don't forget it. This could be your 2023 home anniversary email. And, you know, happy home anniversary, right? And then maybe you want to send them a video. You could send them a YouTube video, or if you have core video, you could send them a core video. Maybe you want to just send them a picture. You know, you can browse for a picture. I have a picture in here that I could use. Probably not. You could go to Canva. You know, my favorite thing is Canva. And you could do pictures, photos. You know, pick anyone that you want. And I don't like any of these, do I? No, here you go. Like something like that, you know, or whatever it is. And then you could even put a big bow on it or something. Oh. No, I'm just being silly, but we're going to download it. You know, get creative, do what you want. You can put your logo on here. You could put maybe, you know, Canva is a paid site. It actually there is a free version. So you see the little crown here. That thing I chose is a pro version, but like this one or that one doesn't have the crown. It's free. So you can get a free Canva site. Now, there's a ton of free stuff you can do in here. You don't need to have a paid account to do it. So I'm going to download that. I'm going to go back to Kiwi Core and I'm going to upload that here. I'm going to insert it. Then I might put in some text. You know, it's been another year, yay! Or whatever you want to say. Even bigger. Bold. You know, I love the advanced editor. And then, you know, you could put some text in here that says, you know, just thinking of you, blah, 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 blah on your happy anniversary. And then let's do some call to actions, right? Let's put some buttons in here. And again, you can change these buttons to match the colors on your branding or whatever you want, but it could be, let's grab coffee and put a link to your if you have Calendly. If anybody doesn't know what Calendly is, it's just like a scheduler and it's free. Like you can do a free version for like one meeting. So they have access to your calendar so they could schedule in with you for coffee or whatever. Or, hey, call me anytime. And then instead we're going to say, make a call, put your cell phone number in there or put your smart number in there. And if they click that, it'll automatically pop up their call and all they have to do is hit send and it's calling that number, right? You could also say, check your home value. And then you would want to put your sell page in here, the URL for your sell page, which I can't get to while I'm still in this, but I'll show you where to get it if you don't know. Put that URL there, right? Maybe you put a image down here that's got your banner, your signature image or whatever it is you want to do. And so then you're going to add your template. And it's going to be in your templates now. Your smart number, your sell page, if you don't know what it is if you go to your website and you go to sell, this is the link to your sell page. So they can, your past clients or your sphere, anybody can always just go in anytime and check and see what their home is worth. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your your marketing and your birthdays and anniversary. And you're going to change that template. And you're going to say, Heather Bowden. Sometimes when you make, there it is right there. Happy. Sometimes it takes a little bit to show up. Be like, okay, or whatever, add the template. Now that's what's sending out. Make it yours. I cannot stress enough that if you have core video or if you're willing to do even a YouTube video, that personal touch of like seeing your face, like, hey, it's been another year, happy anniversary, I'm here for you. If you need anything with your house, or if you know anybody who's buying or selling, like, let me know, like all of those things, like really make it personal, really make it yours. Seriously, you set it up. Once a year, you're going to change this out one time a year. Like, think about everybody that's going to get it. The same thing for the birthday, right? This is what it says. And it's the same thing every single year. You can send that out, but seriously, make your own and put it in there. Hey, happy anniversary or happy birthday. I'm so happy for you. Another year. I hope it was great. Give me a email back and let me know how your year was. I really want to know. Things like that go a long way. And it's just automation that you can set up one time and have it go for the whole year and then come back and set it up again. Same thing with the birthday text. If it doesn't sound like you, change it out. Okay, so there's that. That was all I wanted to do. Now I really am done. Yeah, you could do, well, you can't use a photo from their MLS listing because this is going to everyone, right? Now, if you wanted to, if you're like, hey, I want to use a photo of their MLS listing and I don't want to automate it, you could turn it off for your closed people. So your closed people don't get it. Only other people do, which is weird because most people, you're not going to know it anyway. But you could set up in your campaign on your closed campaign, just closed. You could do on day 365, it could be a task for you to send out a very personalized one with the picture of their house. But you want to be careful not to use the picture of their house for what I just did, because then everybody's going to get the picture of the other person's house. That makes sense. Okay. Anybody have any questions about anything that I just showed you guys? And if not, I can answer questions about anything else under the sun that has to do with KV Core. Anybody? Okay, go for it, Dana. Well, you guys raised your hands. Map search does not zoom in on the address like yours did. It does, I promise. What you need to do is just keep hitting zoom. It will keep going down, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. So it told me you guys raised your hands. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Dana. Okay, go ahead, Dana. You can talk.
Can you hear me now?
I sure can.
Sorry, took me a while to figure that out. Okay, so like when I went into a client file and I want to add that property valuation, and it's just right there on the timeline over there on the right hand side of the screen where you can add that.
Right.
So once I add that and I put in their property address that they purchased, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And then, so that's just going to keep sending them out just for informational purposes, like you were talking about, like what maybe the current value of their home would be.
Yes, exactly. So it will send them an email every month. It will say, hey, here's, a home valuation. And the email says something like, hey, this is just a computer generated thing based on, comparables in the area. But if you think this is off, or if you want me to do something super in depth, don't hesitate to give me a call. I'm happy to do that for you, is I think something that's what the email says.
But it's obviously has all my contact information.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be totally your stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then the only other question I had was, because I was trying to set this up real quick while I had you on the phone. I don't know why. I get off these webinars and then all of a sudden my brain turns to mush and I'm like, what? Yeah. So if I go into, I guess, what would be the other one? The one where you were talking about how they could see other listings in that area. I tried to go
a property alert for them.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be the property alert.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So if you go and add a property alert for them, like this one's already set up, but I'll set up the next one. And just to answer Sancha's question, if you do it on the map and you do the location and you're like, oh, that didn't do that, just keep hitting zoom in and it will get there. See Sycamore Street right there. It will zoom into it. You just have to keep hitting the plus sign right there to answer your question, Sancha. But yeah, so like if they live on Sycamore, then I'm just going to make my area really, right around this Sycamore area. You know what I mean? You're going to want to make it so it's just something very, very specific, right? Right in their neighborhood. And your area is better, like what makes sense if you or whatnot, but that's what I would do. That way it's just, oh, down the street or right a block away, somebody put their home up for sale. You don't need to do it in the whole zip code. It's just way too much and they don't care. But they do care if it's just right around where they live.
Right. I can definitely see the value in that. Thank you for
that. No problem.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else have questions? Andrea, how do I set someone up on a property search? So just like I said, like you just go to property alerts. If there's nothing here, I already have one, but either way, you're gonna have an add button. This one's already set up, but you can set this one up. You just put in the area or you draw it on a map. And then you say, okay, you can do even further, like maybe you know the beds, baths, maybe you know what they're looking for acres, or maybe it's something that they already have, whatever, but you can change all of this. You can add keywords. So any keywords that happen in your MLS, you know, you can put those in. Maybe you just want on a golf course or whatever it is, and then you can say I want it once a week or I want it ASAP. I do ASAP for the sphere people if you're doing something super small, because it's only going to happen like a couple times a year. Otherwise, you don't want to do it that often. You'd want to do it like once a month or twice a month or something like that. Okay, good. Anybody else got any other questions for me? No? Okay. Then I will let you guys go, but if you off topic, how do you mass delete hashtags from contacts? You want to remove a hashtag from a contact? Is that what you're saying? I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can mass delete it from contacts this way. However, if you go to your marketing and go to hashtag management, if you have like a whack, like let's say you want to get rid of, you could remove it from everybody. So if you wanted to take a sphere away from everybody, you could just delete the hashtag and then it is no more in your system. So you can do that, but you can't like pick like these 4 people out of this list of 10. I'm going to take the hashtag off of them. I don't believe you can do that in mass. You'd have to do it one by one, but you can delete the hashtag and it will take it off of everybody that has that hashtag. Also, if you have hashtags that are very similar, so maybe you have like, you know, just browsing and browsing, you can take those hashtags and put them and merge them together into one. And then whoever had just browsing will now just have browsing if that's what you choose to merge it together. And that's really a great way to go, because a lot of times people make all these hashtags and they're like, oh my God, I have too many. And there's like 4 that mean the same thing. I really recommend going into your hashtag management, checking out what you've got in there and changing them out or merging them together or doing what you need to do just to keep everything running tip top smooth. You're welcome. Okay. Anybody else? All right, guys. I will put this on YouTube, hopefully in the next day or 2, but it might be Monday because I'm gone tomorrow and the next day. It's my best friend from forever ago is getting married finally. So we're excited for that. Let me know though, if you can just comment on the YouTube if you have any other questions, or in the Facebook page. If you have questions, you can put them there. Don't forget about our live webinars. There's so many, and whatnot. So I'm gonna let y'all go and I will see everyone. I think we're gonna do it next week, even though it's the day before Thanksgiving. So I don't think we've made that final decision yet, but I think we're on for it. So we should be here Wednesday before I go make my cheesecakes. Okay. Bye, everybody.